Hello everyone! So, how is your month going? I don't know where to begin with mine. I took what was supposed to be just a week's break, but then I had a computer problem. It was fixable, so I fixed it. Took some time, but I fixed it. I began to make a new video, and then my new gear gave me some problems I couldn't solve. I then decided to take another week to sort those out. Still haven't solved them, but eventually I'd found a workaround. Then, earlier this week, while working on what was supposed to be the next video, the worst computer problem I had so far befell me, and I still haven't solved it. This one will probably mean taking my machine in for a costly repair. And it's not the fault of the computer's manufacturer, it's my fault for using such a cheap old cable in the first place. I don't normally lose my cool, but when I encountered the cable problem this past week, I was so pissed at myself that I ripped the broken cable out and flung it over my shoulder so forcefully that, well, I heard a crack behind me. I turned around and, yeah, this happened. This poster frame's been with me for 20 years. I had my Fleetwood Mac poster in it throughout college and grad school, and later I used it for my Sam Shaw portrait of Marilyn Monroe, which hung several places over several years. Well, at least the crack didn't tear the poster. I might be able to get some new plexi. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for hanging in there. I'm starting off my late summer program with this, a compilation of unboxings from the last few months that features more items from my friend Michael of Kings Island. Now, a lot of these boxes and bundles I opened on the front porch, because by April the nicer weather had arrived, so why not? Most of the items in these boxes were non-Elton items. You'll see some of those briefly in this episode. But don't worry, I'll share those non-Elton items with you in a series of separate videos later this fall. Alright, so let's jump in here with some CDs from a Michael box I received in April. And first up is Rocket Man, the Definitive Hits, Australian edition. Not the Australian Tour edition from 2011, which had the red cover and included 2 discs. This is the standard or stock Australian edition from 2007, single disc with the standard white cover and 18 tracks. This is my very first copy of any version of this compilation. I just never felt motivated enough to buy it back when it came out. It was one of the many Elton hit package cash grabs of its time, and I just didn't care to buy it. Next is a US copy of the Union Deluxe CD DVD package, still sealed. And this copy has the black rectangular hype sticker on it. Not all original copies had that sticker. The deluxe edition of the album differed from the standard edition in that Disc 1, the CD, included 2 extra songs and was sequenced a little differently. The deluxe edition also came with a bonus DVD, which, despite what the hype sticker implied, is not the full version of the Cameron Crowe documentary. Next is a US copy, also still sealed, of Greatest Hits 1976 to 86, as released by MCA just before Christmas back in 1992. I remember that well. I don't know what the red tinted shrink wrap is all about. Maybe it was the distributor's attempt at adding a Christmas touch. Next, a US copy of the Big Picture CD from 1997, also still sealed with the original hype sticker on its front. Very, very nice. This was one of the gems of the box. Blue Moves, complete on 2 CDs and as remastered by Gus Dungeon. Okay, classic Elton John, a US copy. This one's pretty well known here in North America for being one of 4 compilations sold exclusively at McDonald's fast food chain, in the summer of 1994 for Ronald McDonald House Charities. And then this, another US 2 CD copy of Rare Masters. I think this is my 3rd copy on CD of this one, 2 US copies and 1 Canadian copy. Add to that my original double cassette version, and I think I now have 4 copies of this box set. But you can never have too many copies of it, I think. It's just such a great box set. Kind of a shame that it never appeared on vinyl. Well, never say never. We might see it on vinyl sometime, hopefully. All right, Someday Out of the Blue, CD single, US copy. Probably my favorite song from the Eldorado album. This was released on the DreamWorks label back in 2000. Peachtree Road, a US copy of the original 2004 CD, still sealed, with original artwork. Very nice. And here we go, a copy of Greatest Hits Volume 3. This is a US copy. It's a Columbia House issue. I had a Canadian club copy of this. Now I have this, an American club issue. Now, call me crazy, but of the original 3 hits volumes, this is far and away my favorite. This is a US copy of the mid-1980s MCA compilation Your Songs. It was part of MCA's Budget series, or Plaidback series, as some collectors call it. This is a great collection of deep tracks. I just love the cover art. All right, now we're going to unwrap some books here, beginning with this, a copy of Keith Hayward's superb Tin Pan Alley, The Rise of Elton John, published in 2013 by Soundcheck Books. This book covers Elton's early years in really excellent in-depth detail. If you don't have a copy of this, get one. It's so well researched. I remember buying my first copy of this in 2015 in London. I was at the flagship Foyles bookstore on Charing Cross Road, which is just a half block south of Denmark Street. I really couldn't think of a better bookstore than that to actually buy my copy of this book. And so now I have 2 copies. Good to have a backup copy, I think. Next book, Captain Fantastic by Tom Doyle, published in 2017 by Ballantine Books. This is one I didn't already have a copy of. I remember when it came out, it was very well reviewed, and several fans that I knew at the time said good things about it. So I still haven't read it, but I look forward to reading it, hopefully sometime this year. Third and last of the books is Carolyn Thomas's This One's For You, published in 2019 by Dannon Books. And now we fast forwarded here to July, just about a month ago, and we have about 3 or 4 really cool, and in at least 2 cases, somewhat rare, vinyl LPs, beginning with this original 1977 Japanese DJM copy of Greatest Hits Volume 2. I think I already got one of these in an earlier Michael box, but that copy didn't have the lyrics booklet in it. This one has the booklet. And it also has the original Obi in great shape, too. So, great to have that. Next is an original 1978 Japanese Rocket Single Man. I already had one of these. It was actually the very first Japanese copy of any Elton album that I ever bought on any format. And I remember I got it in the summer of 1994 at a record show in Toronto. It was in great shape, but that copy didn't have the Obi. This one's in as great shape as my other copy, but this one has the original green Obi. And this pressing sounds great, guys. Not quite as good as the original UK Rocket pressing, but very, very close. And speaking of a single man, here's a US picture disc copy. The stock version, I have a promo copy already. Now, the stock copy is different because it has the shot of Elton sitting in his Jaguar on side 2. Now, the date on these is 1978, but I suspect these really didn't ship until maybe very early 1979. We don't see advertisements for this appearing in newspapers until early 79 anyway. And these picture discs were pressed in Nashville by the Fitzgerald Hartley Picture Disc Company, one of the few American manufacturers of vinyl picture discs at the time. Really, now that I think of it, kind of the only one that I know of that existed at that time. So, and next is an original 1975 copy of Captain Fantastic. This is a US MCA copy with all inserts. I can't remember if this is a Pinckneyville or a Gloversville copy. It doesn't matter because I have multiple copies from both pressing plants, but this one's in good shape and has the 2 books and posters, so I'm happy. Okay, so we've left the porch here, and this is I'm in the kitchen here. This was also about a month ago. This was another one of my after midnight unboxings, so the lighting kind of sucks. My apologies for that. This is This is the first of 2 very special Elton discs that Michael sent me as kind of like congrats on getting to 1,000 subscribers gifts, which was very nice of him. Of course, it's very nice of him to be sending all this stuff to me no matter the occasion. And this is a 12-inch white label promo of Empty Garden with the 2-sided lyric sheet or insert. And it was cut by Artisan Sound. It has the Artisan Sound logo in the runouts. It was plated by Sheffield Labs. And although its runouts show the stamp for the Allied Record Company, I don't think it was pressed there. Not this copy anyway. The pressing ring on this copy is not the early 1980s Allied pressing ring, as would be expected. The pressing ring's a capital pressing ring. So I don't know what happened there, or if there are Allied copies out there and Capitol copies, or if they were all done at Capitol. I don't know. What I am fairly certain about is that while copies of this 12-inch promo, or its 7-inch white label equivalent, there were 45 versions of this too, while copies of those aren't uncommon here in Canada, I've never come across any Canadian pressed copies of either one. So I think all copies of this were done in the United States. And the last record of this episode, a Japanese rocket copy of 21 at 33, but it's not a stock copy, it's a white label promo copy. And this is the first Japanese promo copy of any Elton album that I've ever had. And knowing about the stock copies, I just had to give this promo pressing a flashlight test. And yeah, there it is. There it is, folks. Phonogram pressed even the white label promo copies on JVC Super Vinyl. Really good to know. Nice touch. And though the mastering quality kind of comes and goes with these 1980s Elton John pressings by Phonogram, Japanese Phonogram, a lot of them sound really good. The vinyl is very quiet. So JVC Super Vinyl really does live up to its reputation, I think. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And thank you. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Despite my tech woes, I press on. I'm a survivor. More stuff to come, I promise. Take care, and remember, don't fling audio equipment across the room in a hissy fit, especially when the room contains valuable things. Just remember all the life lessons and learned truths you heard here at Collecting Elton. I'll see you again very soon.